Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you how you can get this ink like shader in Nomad Sculpt. And you can see this, we are working in PBR shading, so the effect is responsive to light and dynamic shadow. So let's see how we can get this effect. So how can we create this? We go to the post-processing, activate the post-process, then we activate the color grading tab. So what's the catch here? You need to flatten the shadows, the mid levels, and the bright levels, and the highlights, let's say, like this. So the way to do this, you first draw a stair-like shape on this diagonal line. So I'll create a point, one click to turn it to a sharp point, then I'll create another, then we have a first step of the ladder, then we create another, then we end with a flat step on the top. Then we have three steps in this ladder. So how can we control the effect? You see that we almost have what we want. So in my test, I see that the best quality result is to work with a black and white image. I will try to refine to use this technique on the color image. So before you go in the tone mapping tab, go to the saturation and let's remove the colors of the equation to be easy to find the best result. So here we already have flattened the darks, the mid-levels, and the highlights. So how we can control how much shadow, how much mid-level, how much highlight do you have on our image? First of all, the first step of the ladder controls the shadow. So if you want to reduce the amount of shadow, you take the base of the step and move towards the left. When you see that has a transition, but you just consider the darkest point, is that where the shadow will land. So I find that this point, the shadow, is a good point for me. Then I bring the upper point closer to the lower point. So I have my shadow defined. The highlights, I think the highlights are using a space. We could use more highlights on this image. So I will take the base of the last step, then brings towards the left. I find that this is a good point. Then I bring the upper point to flatten again the highlights. So this is the base of the effect. How can we do to improve this? The other really good option in the post-process menu is this curvature that takes in consideration the bumps and the cavities to give some more shades. So I define here in the bumps, I want a lighter shade, let's say something towards white. You will create something like a pencil drawing in the bumps, and then in the cavities I choose a darker color. But you can make tests and see what works best for your art, for your piece. Then the last tip is if you have just one object, if your objects that you are working are one object only, you can go to the options menu and turn on the outline. The outline by default is this red color. Then you turn your outline to a black color. Then you have this effect. So now let me see. Analyzing my picture, I see that we need more shadow, so I will bring the step to the right, the shadow step to the right, and reduce the amount of middle levels to bring more contrast. Talking about contrast, you can mess with the tone mapping options to refine your results as well. I can give more contrast. I can mess with the exposure. It will depend on your goal. See, I hope this tutorial had bring some new information, some useful information for you. I see you next time.